County Board of Commissioners, March 25th, 2025, 6 p.m. meeting. Please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. Do you have anyone to give the invocation? Okay.
You want to give it?
I will.
Okay. So please stand for the invocation followed by the pledge to the flag.
Our Father who art in heaven, please be with the commissioners as we conduct business for the county to uphold in our honor and to the constituents of Meriwether County. But please be with the first responders and all the employees of Meriwether County. In Christ's name we ask, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Next item is for us to adopt the agenda. Are there any revisions or be made to the agenda?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, no revisions. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Right. Do you have any presentations today?
No, sir.
All right, next item is finance report.
Commissioners, in front of you got a finance report of about 3 o'clock today, 3:30, I'm sorry. Finance has no issues on any of the balances. All balances are holding steady. The quarter fees for the tipping will be coming in April for the first quarter of 2025. March allocations for Law Splosh and T-Splosh will be coming in by the end of the month. Should be Thursday or Friday. The second page is your Splosh and T-Splosh commitments. Right now, available balance for the Splosh to spend is $604,000, and T-Splosh is $351,581. And just on a correction on the last one, it was presented as 2024 LMIG and LRA. It's actually 2025 LMIG project. And I did put the amount we received for the previous LRA of $1,013,379.36. There's a little typo there. The reason I put that dollar amount is later in the agenda, you'll see that we have eligibility for another LRA.
You say that again?
For the LRA, I put the received amount for this year's because we're eligible for another LRA later in the agenda. Just so the commissioners can see what we got previously.
Received and was pending.
Correct.
Okay.
What was that amount? You said that there was a typo.
It's the 379, you got a comma, period 36.
Okay,
There's just a typo in the report.
thank you.
Any questions about the finance report? Moving on, do we have any department heads to speak?
Commissioners, I'd like to introduce Jamie Tarleton, if I said her name correctly. She is our new finance director. She started last week, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Jamie Tarleton from Lamar County. I'm new to local governance, came from the financial institution world, but analytics and numbers is my game. So I'm hopefully here to make everybody proud. And please, if you have any suggestions or any opportunities that can help me learn, I'm definitely all ears.
I assure you, we are not shy.
Good
Well,
job.
welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
The only other one, department heads, Commissioner, I got from Randy on recreation. The numbers went up to just shy of 200 kids in baseball and softball this year.
That's awesome. That's great.
So off of that projection, he's projecting maybe 250, 300 for next year. So recreation program, I think he said it's almost quadrupled from last year. So everything's looking good on the county side. And our recreation director starts next Monday.
I'll just fix and ask you when does it start, so, good deal.
And baseball kicks off Friday. So commissioners are welcome to go to Woodbury and watch some Little League baseball.
And the girls softball started last night.
Thank you, Commissioner Snelson.
Don't forget the softball.
I was there.
I forgot they started before the boys did, but that's all in department heads.
All right, thank you. Next is citizen comment. I understand we've got one for citizen comment.
Yes, sir.
All right, I have to read this before we start that. So speakers must contact the county clerk at a.stevens@meriwethercountyga.gov or call 706-672-3460 on or before the dates and times listed below in order to be placed on the agenda to speak. Speakers must provide their name, address, and topic they wish to discuss. For For the first Monday of the month, 6 p.m. meeting, speakers must email or call before 5 p.m. on the day of the scheduled meeting. For the fourth Tuesday of the month, 6 p.m. meeting, speakers must email or call before 5 p.m. on the day of the scheduled meeting. Speakers must direct their remarks to the board and not to individual commissioners or to the audience. Personal disagreements with individual commissioners or county employees are not a matter of public concern, and personal attacks will not be tolerated. Speakers will be allotted 3 minutes to speak on their chosen topics as they relate to matters pertinent to the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners. No questions will be asked by any of the commissioners during citizen comment. Outbursts from the audience will not be tolerated. Common courtesy and civility are expected at all times during the meeting. No speaker will be permitted to speak more than 3 minutes or more than once unless the board votes to suspend this rule. So, Mr. Michael Robertson, someone that forgot to silence their device.
I don't see him here.
He is not here. Okay.
I don't see him.
Moving right along, next item is the minutes. So we've had the minutes from the March 10th, 2025 regular meeting at 6 p.m. I trust everybody had a chance to review them. Are there any changes or need to be made?
Yeah, I'd like to make a change on page 8. About halfway through, it says Vice Chairman Collins stated he talked to the guy and told him that it could last up to 2 months in the silo. It was stated that he could, one fill up in the patched tank could last up to 2 months.
I got you.
That's all I have, Chairman.
You get all that?
I did.
Okay. Any other changes to the minutes? If not, do we have a motion with those changes made?
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, thank you. So we have a public hearing for case number P25-001, request from 915 LLC, Joseph Pendley to rezone parcel 186-001, 343.25 acres from LDR to A1 for an event venue and hunting camp. So do I have a motion to go into public hearing for this?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, we're now in public hearing.
Good evening, Commissioners. This should be short and sweet. I received an application from Mr. Joseph Penley for rezoning parcel 186-001, 3.4325 acres. It's at the corner of Manson Road and Highway 362. He wants to zone it from LDR to A1 for the proposed use of an event center / lodge and quail hunting facility. During the discussion, it was stated that the quails, first, at the Planning Commission, during the discussion, it was stated that the quails would be placed and the hunts would be guided and that there would be no shooting toward homes. That was one concern that one of the homeowners had. Mr. Penley had stated that because of the amount of trees and the large acreage of land, that the hunting would actually be in the center of the property, and that the lodge / event center would be on the bottom corner of the property between 362 and Manson Road. And because of the answers that he was able to give to the property owners, the neighbors there were in favor of the rezoning and had no problems. And so therefore, the Planning Commission heard the comments and have made recommendations for approval.
I'm just trying to look at the map to see how close homes are.
What's the difference or what's the reason to go from LDR to A1?
For the hunting, for it to be a agricultural hunting camp and event
I mean,
center.
what's A1? What is
You
that?
have to have, for the zone, what he's wanting to do, it has to be agricultural zone. For the hunting, agricultural.
Okay. I just want to make sure, I didn't know if he could leave it like it is and do
No,
a
and
special
fact-
use permit and benefit him tax-wise too. I just wanted to make sure what
No,
was,
and because of our ordinances for the event center, it has to be zoned for the event center.
okay.
And that his daughter's the one who's wanting to kind of, as he quoted, he wants to do quail hunt weddings
Is that close to a shotgun wedding?
He's surrounded by dirt roads and there's a lot of trees and it's probably the perfect place. They got all down in South Georgia to make a beautiful plantation pine hunt, but I don't,
I just thought it was funny when
I
you
just
said
didn't know why you had to change
12
it.
hunt weddings.
Yeah, they do them.
He's here. That's
I guess that took the place of shotgun weddings.
what Ron was just saying.
Okay. Is
But
there
the
any-
lodge, and he'd have a lodge there before the hunting, and then the event center for the weddings, which would be, I think it's on your maps for the bottom corner.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this rezoning request?
Mr. Finley's here.
I'll be glad to answer any questions if you guys have any. I mean, obviously, I want to speak in favor of it. I think it's a good opportunity to keep preservation of wildlife, give people places to go hunt. It's going to it will increase a little tax base because that 25 acres that we're having to do for the event venue, well, we can't leave that in Cuba anymore. So the tax bases will actually increase on that a little bit. Tax bases with it being a business in the county, going to bring a few jobs to the county. So all in all, I think it's a great thing to do. Be glad to answer any questions.
Sign in on that sheet up there.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody have any questions? Any other comments you'd like to make, sir?
No, sir.
Did you state your name and address when you came up there?
I did not. Sorry. I'm Joey Penley at 9217 Mount Carmel Road, Sonora, Georgia.
She stated it for him. We knew who he was. Yeah. But thank you for signing in. Is there anyone that would like to speak in opposition to this request? Okay. So we have the planning commission heard the comments and recommends approval. Is there any discussion among the board?
If there's any discussion, I'll make a
Alright.
motion to approve the zoning.
We gotta come out of
Gotta
public
go out of
hearing.
Okay,
public.
yeah, come on.
We're gonna have a motion to come out of public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? We're out of public hearing. All right.
Now, if there's no further discussion, if I'm not getting ahead of anybody and it's in my district, I'll be glad to make a motion for us to approve this rezoning for the event venue and hunting camp.
I'll second.
Motion and second, all in favor? Motion passes.
Good luck.
Thank y'all.
Next, we have no appointments. Next is unfinished business. Item 1 is discussion on releasing the agenda packet.
Commissioners, this was a item that was tabled during the March 10th, 2025 meeting. Staff recommends a 90-day period to research Civic Plus software, to undergo training on proper agenda processing, and determine whether specific items can be redacted without the need to create separate agendas. And Civic Plus will allow different levels of sign off to be approved to the overall packet. That's why we're requesting that 90 days if the board would like to release the packet to the public.
Well, I know last time my part was a packet is not a packet, an agenda is not an agenda until it is approved by the board at that particular meeting. So I did have concerns that there may be items on the agenda or there may be items within the packet that have not been approved and it is not an official agenda at that point. So I did worry about that a little bit with the redactions that have to take place. We would have to run that through legal each time before a package was released and put online just to make sure there's nothing there that would need to be redacted prior to that. So that was my major concern.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments about this item?
I still feel that for the transparency, with this program, I looked it up myself and it looks, like it's pretty much, once they load it in, it has the information, so it kind of filters through, and like I looked up how you would run it, and it will auto redact. I looked back through previous months and saw that there wasn't there aren't hardly any times, once stuff gets turned in, it's already done before we get it anyway. And I just feel like for the citizens, for the transparency and the accountability, they know that the agenda until we adopt it's not official, but it's already on there. So that's why I'm advocating for, if they would like to look at it, they can.
But the request of the staff is for 90 days.
Correct. If the board would like to release it to the public to see if the proper levels can be in there to redact, that way we're not creating two different agendas.
Okay, so staff is not recommending in favor or against. You're just saying if we vote in favor,
Correct,
to give you
Commissioner.
90 days to do that. Okay.
Correct.
All right.
This is a Board of Commissioners, action item to take, not a staff.
Right.
I understand. I'll just, okay. All right, any other concerns or discussion? If not, do we have a motion on this item or?
So I make a motion that we follow the staff recommendation, give them the 90-day period to go through with this, and then hopefully move forward with posting the agenda online.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, go ahead.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you, Commissioners. Well, we convene back in 90 days and give you our findings on it.
Good. Item number 2 is consideration of Surface Maintenance LLC to do road maintenance on Mathis Pond Road and Gunter Road.
Commissioners, this item was also tabled in a March 10th meeting. These are two proposals from Surface Maintenance LLC for the repairs of Moffitt's Pond Road and Gunner Road as identified by Public Works. Like I said, subcontracting these repairs will allow Public Works to focus on other roads within the county. The funding source will be T-Splosh. I think the one issue on the last one was Moffitt's Pond Road, the amount would be 2,259 feet.
2,259 feet.
Correct. And the other one for Gunner Road was 2,424 feet.
How much did you say
The total,
the Mathis Pond Road was?
let's see.
2259.
2,259 feet.
Thank you.
And together they're a little under 14,000. Or a little over 14,000, sorry, a little under 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so both of them together less than a mile.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is the.
I'd like to say that I think we ought to give it a little while and see how new road superintendent, our new public works director gets along, and maybe he can get this done without us having to pay some of that.
You putting that in the form of a motion or you?
Yeah, I make that a form of a motion.
A second.
Go ahead.
I'll third it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, motion passes.
All right, I'll get a hold of Surface Maintenance and let them know, Commissioners.
Okay, now under the new business, item 1 is execute HMPG hazard mitigation grant application for 2025.
Commissioner, this is a yearly mitigation plan that Meriwether County has to put together. It is well, not yearly, it's a 5-year plan, I believe when I talked to Director Jones about it. Our current plan expires on July 19, 2025, with the grant expiring on January 16, 2027. The approved funding total $24,000, with $18,000 coming from federal, $2,400 from the state, $3,600 from local. Staff will be meeting to update our plan on April 4th, April 24th, and May 7th to make sure we stay in compliance with grant requirements. We'll be collaborating with staff from other organizations that may be beneficial to addressing potential events and support efforts to secure additional grants from GEMA related to hazard mitigation. Basically, it's a plan for a worst-case scenario, and I think in the past, talking with Director Jones, we have used in-kind, and we have not had to pay our share because we've used the salary employees involved in planning out our mitigation plan just in case. It goes from anything from a nuclear bomb to a tornado. So we cover every aspect of possible hazard that could happen in Meriwether County.
Great.
And we would need the chair to sign the application.
Any discussion about this item? We have a motion.
I make a motion to execute the HMPG hazard mitigation grant application and allow the chair to sign.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Motion passed. Item 2, reconsideration of bond amount for Hidden Meadows subdivision.
One minute, Commissioners, get to that page.
It's a lot, sorry.
It's way down in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
There you do.
I met with Mark Wooster regarding the bond amount on Hidden Meadows subdivision, and he has requested a reconsideration of the amount. The original bond was set for $350,649.51 for a 5-year term. During the initial meeting establishing the bond, supporting documents indicated the cul-de-sac had not been inspected before paving, and as a result, the original bond amount was calculated based on replacing the entire road within the subdivision. We now have documentation showing the cost to repave the cul-de-sac and the main drive will be $144,148.08. Applying the ordinance calculation of 150%, that would put the revised bond at $216,231.12. Mr. Rooster is requesting a reduction of the bond to the $216,231.12. And staff recommends maintaining the 5-year term, but Mr. Rooster has requested that it be lessened to a 4-year or a 3-year term because it's been sitting for at least 1 year with nothing done to it right now. And having discussions with him, I told him the only way I could bring it back to the board is because the cul-de-sac was the one that was in question about failing. It wasn't the whole entire subdivision. And he did get a quote from Piedmont with the cost being $154,154.08. And it does not say how long this quote is good for. The value will fluctuate over time, I'm sure, but the cul-de-sac is the main focus of interest on it failing.
Well, if you got the price quotes there, and then you multiplied it by the standard 1.5 or whatever and so forth, they're gonna build 14 houses over there. I don't know the guy, like, on a personal level, I just know he's a developer out of Fayetteville, I believe. And, but they're gonna build 14 houses over there and haul concrete trucks in and out, and delivery trucks in and out, and so forth. It's gonna tear up within the 3-year period without no problem at all. So I don't think he's asking for too much, because he's got the quotes, and you're doing the number, and then, unfortunately, when Bill was checking things out, he went out and looked at it. And for those that are listening in or so forth may not understand it, they come in there with a dump truck loaded down with a load of gravel, and they drive over it to see if it stays solid or see if you see pumping. So this one area had some pumping. He told them to dig it out, redo it, and pack it deeper. You go more GAB and you tamp it with a tamper. If I'm not mistaken, that was either when Mr. Bill had some health issues or something, and at the time they were trying to get an inspection, there was nobody to go look at it. And then with all the rain coming, they took it upon themselves to do it. So I think that 200 and some thousand will cover us well in the county for 3 years. And on that, I'll make a motion that we reconsider the request, but it'll be covered, and it'll be tore up within 3 years if it's going to do it. I can assure you that. I'll make that in form of motion.
Can you clarify that motion?
Yeah.
Exactly what you're.
I'd like to make a motion that we do reconsider the amount that the administrator stated based on the quotes and multiplied by the percentage was 200 and what?
16,000.
$216,231.12. And what would be the term?
3 years.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? The motion fails for lack of a second.
Okay.
Any other?
I mean, wasn't he good with 5 years?
5 years was the initial term, but he was asked for a reduction because it's set 1 year. So I told him I would present it.
Was he asking for 3 or 4?
He was asking for 3. This with 1 year absent would be a 4-year term because 1 year's already elapsed.
But the reason he's asking for 3, and the reason I was making a motion on that, is that's our standard policy is 3.
Correct.
But here again, going back to with Bill being out and so forth, he recommended go 5 because it may. So I'm suggesting to the board and to everybody else that if it's going to tear up, it's going to tear up within 3 years. So that's the only reason I was suggesting. I'm not trying to do him a favor. I'm trying to stay within the guidelines of what we do with any other subdivision that normally got inspected. They would get 3 years is what we would make them go.
Yes, sir, Commissioner King.
But
And
the key point here is that this one did not get inspected. And, you know, I understand what they were trying to do, but at the end of the day, they took the risk to go ahead and move forward without the proper inspection. So, I mean, they took that risk at that moment.
Great.
I think we're being more than fair, reassessing and looking at what is the real risk to the road and taking a chance at looking at, can we reduce even the dollar amount? But every contractor needs to understand that these ordinances and policies that we have in place are there for a reason, and we're gonna stand behind them.
So then basically then on this quote you got and so forth, would be better off then to go with the dollar amount, the new dollar amount, but stay at the 5-year period.
Yes, sir, Commissioner. And
I'll make a motion in that form, that we go with the new dollar amount.
you want to count the 1 year that is not being used towards the 5 year, so it's really a 4 year.
4 years. I'll make a motion that we give him their,
There's no traffic's been on, it's been barricaded, nobody's been back there on the road.
what's that?
It's barricaded, no one's been back on the road, to my knowledge, it's barricaded off for the past year. So we just need to make sure we clarify the term, since it's been built for a year.
Before you do
Are we
like
counting
the-
it for the year or not?
What's the difference in the curbing that they were, it was supposed to be the rollback curbing and they did a different curb, or what is that gonna impact the road?
That was Bill's calculation on the whole entire road. It was not just the cul-de-sac that was failing. The cul-de-sac was the main concern of it failing.
Right.
But the way Bill did his cost analysis was on the entire road, including the cul-de-sac.
Okay, I just saw they had mentioned the curbing and didn't know if there was an issue with the curbs that were in there too.
It was just the whole calculation when he did his evaluation.
If
based
they
off the road.
had, if they had to repair the road, they wouldn't have to redo the curb and gutter and so
Okay.
forth. And from the entrance all the way back, all that did get inspected. It's just the area back there in the back that spot did not get re-inspected. And I agree with the chair, you know, you have to get the job done and do it right. We can't show favors. So that's the reason I'm willing to change the motion to.
Yeah, I just asked it so they put in high back curb instead of rollback curb, and so I wasn't sure what the difference was, if that would impact the road at all.
It was just how Bill calculated the
Okay.
entire subdivision. But if you look at the next page on that, Commissioner Sutton, it referenced the cul-de-sac over and over. That's
Right.
the part that was failing. And that's the only reason I told him I could bring it back to the board, is because it referenced the cul-de-sac was the part that failed, not the entire.
Let's hang on a second. We got a motion on the floor. So we got a motion to approve staff recommended dollar amount.
For
And he
4
said
years.
for 4 years. The only clarification we need is the 4 years starts now? 4 years from today's date? Is that what that's what?
Correct.
That'd be my motion.
Okay. So we have a motion to go with staff's recommendation of $216,000 some odd dollars for 4-year term starting today. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Sounds good.
Commissioners, I notify them that we reduced the bond.
That's all we need to do. It's working together.
Item 3 is consideration of accepting credit card payments for the Recreation Department.
Commissioners, with the baseball season approaching with Meriwether County Recreation Department, staff is seeking approval to accept credit card payments and deposit them into the new recreation bank account that's been established at United Bank. That way they're not commingling with Lake Meriwether funds. This will apply to concession sales and registration for future sporting events. And the merchant will probably be Square to begin with, unless we find our new recreation director has a different program, but I believe it'll stay with Square. And there is no contract with Square. It's basically like Cash App and Venmo. You pay their little percentage fee and it deposits into your account.
So you're recommending,
Staff recommends approval of credit cards
I make a motion we approve
using
that.
Square.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Item 4, approval to apply for LRA funding for 2025.
Commissioners, on March 20th, Staff was notified of eligibility for the LRA funds for 2025 in the amount of $1,018,943.37. Staff is requesting approval to apply for these funds from GDOT with no matching requirement. The proposed projects will include culverts, bridges, and roads. In front of you have what was submitted last year, and staff recommends submitting the projects that were not completed that total $1,080,000 and $80,000. And we have to be above the $1,018,943.37 to get approved for the LRA funds.
There were
This is
several,
fantastic.
yeah, it is. There were several bridges that we did not get addressed during the initial, when we submitted our project list for the LRA supplemental in '24. Several of the bridges we have not bid out. We can move those to the 2025 supplemental, and if, as long as I have that project list, I can go ahead and apply for those funds. We do need to make sure that we're applying for enough to cover that since there is no match. So we need to be over the $1,018,000.
Any questions or discussion from the board?
That project list can be amended in the future if it needs to be.
Does the chair need to sign that?
Yes, the
Yes.
chair would have to sign.
Then I make a motion to approve to apply for the LRA funding for 2025 and allow the chair to sign.
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Item number 5, Lake Meriwether Bank Account, allow chair to sign letter.
Commissioners, following the resignation of Recreation Director Andrew McCory, staff is requesting board approval to close the Lake Meriwether checking account at United Bank and open a new account under the same name, transferring the existing funds accordingly. This change is necessary for security purposes as the current account includes recreation funds. A new recreation account has already been established at United Bank to manage those funds separately. United Bank requires either a board-approved letter signed by the chairman or approved meeting minutes to authorize the closure and opening of bank accounts. Staff recommends approval of attached letter to facilitate the process and authorize the chairman to sign.
Okay, any discussion or a motion?
I make a motion to close the existing, Lake Meriwether Bank account at the United Bank and to reopen a new, Lake Meriwether account at United Bank.
I second,
You allow
And allow
the
chair
chair
to
Allow
sign the
chair to
letter.
sign.
to second that.
still second.
All right, all in favor? Okay. Moving right along to a report from county administrator.
Commissioners, the audit is nearly complete. March 31st is our deadline to turn in the DOAA, which is Department of Audit and our Accounts and Audit. Does not look like we're gonna meet that deadline. We'll probably hit it in April. There's one outstanding item that needs to be taken care of and a review by Malden and Jenkins. It will be completed and submitted probably 4 months earlier than last year. We have brought on a finance director, a public works director. I've been training our finance director, Jamie, showing local government, showing some of my duties and responsibilities as finance director. She's catching on very fast. Other than that is, bringing the public works director on speed on what we need on roads, and he's coming from Harris County. Only been here a day and a half, and he's got some pretty good ideas, so I'm looking forward to see what he has in store. And then the recreation director, baseball season kicking off, it's gonna be a exciting year for the kids. They got pitching machines, I talked to Randy about it, he said the kids love the pitching machines, all of them are having a blast with it. Those perfect strikes and learning to hit, so the kids are getting the practice and repetition that they need to be competitive for this
Do they
year.
have those for baseball and softball?
Yes, sir, we got them a baseball and a softball pitching machine. So,
Fantastic.
other than that, it's just the day-to-day operations of keeping the county up and running.
I have 2 things, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
The Warm Springs Medical Center, in conjunction with DFACS, Meriwether County DFACS and Meriwether County Family Connection, will be hosting a Prevent Child Abuse Awareness event for Meriwether County on Monday, April the 14th at 11. So if you'd all like to attend, there will be a light lunch served, and to please wear blue in support of Prevent Child Abuse Awareness Month. And then also, Ms. Rhonda Fuller let me know that, that there was going to be a save the date. This is an invite for the commissioners. I'll pass it around. This is for High Five for Literacy, celebrating 5 years of progress for Get Meriwether Reading. And that will be on Tuesday, May the 20th, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Greenville Middle High. And I'll make copies and pass this all around to you so you have it.
All right.
That's it.
Report for county commissioners, Commissioner Snelson.
I would like to welcome our new finance director and our public works director and our rec director coming Monday. And I look forward to working with y'all and great things coming in the county. And I'd like to thank the citizens for coming and speaking out and being active in our meetings.
Commissioner King.
Yeah, like always, if I thank all the staff, from every department in the county, we appreciate what all the employees do. I'd like to take just a couple of minutes to clear something up, and I'm doing this under, my attorneys told me I could take advantage of it being a public record and clear the matter up. As y'all were aware, last year there was a building I built, and that's what I do for a living. I build and I sell. And there was been accusations that I owned the building when we voted on it. I was part of the liquor store deal and so forth. And this particular individual that runs a YouTube channel and news stuff put out on the Meriwether County Concerned Citizens Facebook page that I owned the building, that I shouldn't have voted. I'm not a man of integrity. I need to be voted out. And that was the final straw that I wanted to hear about it. So after being approached by my attorneys and having a conversation with them, they provided every single document he wanted, 4 documents from the state of Georgia, documents from my closing. It got to the point that even on my personal Facebook page, if I was just commenting about, posting something about me and my daughter and my granddaughter under comments, he'd go, "When are you going to see your financial statements, Commissioner King?" So anyhow, after my attorneys reached out to him and sent him all the documents he wanted, instead of coming back on Meriwether County's Facebook page and clearing the matter up where he started it, he did put it on his website. And Commissioner Gene King appears to have been legit to vote on previous property he owned. And then it goes on about the meeting we had on November 4th, where there was, some outbursts about it. It goes on, he's showing on his website all the tax records right here. When I sold it, the company I sold it to went to the state of Georgia, and they changed it out of that name to another name. He was provided all the state records under liquor stores, and Michael could vouch for that. Everybody that's involved has to be listed on there. I'm not listed on any of that stuff. And then says, so while this would allow Mr. King a vote on the property, he no longer owned at this location. It did belong to a property to the Liquor Barn LLC, which they transferred the deed to Alberton Liquor Store, and it goes on and goes on. And so I was just taking this opportunity. I have all the documents if any citizens want to see it. But to say I'm not a man of integrity, that was the final straw. My dad raised me right, and I'm going to do the citizens right, and I care about everybody in this county, whether it's my district or not. And it's sad that people can use social media to damage someone's character, but then don't go back and clarify it. And all he had to do was go and put that on that page, which I guess I'll post it for him, because most people in this county is not going to go to his website to see it. But that was his way of satisfying my attorneys to clear up the matter. So I did not own the property. I've never had anything to do with a liquor store, and I'm proud to be able to announce it today and have it on public record if anybody wants to look at it in the future. And I'm here for every citizen in this county. And thank y'all, the board, for letting me take my few minutes. That's all.
Commissioner Collins.
I'd just like to thank the staff at the county, the administrative office, all the employees and all the directors for the job they do. And I'm glad we got a new public works director, and I hope we get moving the roads and the dirt roads and all in the right direction. And that's all I have. Thank you to the constituents also.
Commissioner Threadgill.
Just glad you're on board, the new public works and the recreation, and it's good to see some faces I hadn't seen in a while here, so welcome back. Thanks for everything everybody does in the county, and that's all I have.
For me as well, thank everyone for what they're doing. Welcome to our new directors, and look forward to working with you and the good things that are going to now start happening in the county that we've been planning on. So we've been planning great things. Now we've got a full staff for the first time in a long time. This should be a lot of things, great things happening and happening quickly. So thank you. Report from county attorney.
I have another report. I do understand we have need for executive session for
Litigation, personnel, and real estate.
Okay, so I'll read the future meetings and then we'll take the motion. So future meetings and notices, next meeting will be Monday, April 7th, 2025, be a regular meeting at 6 PM. Tuesday, April 22nd, we'll have a work session at 4 PM, as well as Tuesday, April 22nd, a regular meeting at 6 PM. And Monday, May the 5th, regular meeting, 6 PM. So do I have a motion to go into executive session for litigation, personnel, real estate, and tax?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? We're in executive session at 6:40. Regular session,
So moved. Second.
all in favor? Back in regular session at 7:05, no action was taken in executive session. Have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.